Yo, let Clorox cook.
Nah, bro. End this right now, bro. So I can't both of y'all, bro.
Oh, hey, Clorox.
What's
Clay
up,
drip.
bro? I got time to, bro. I'm not gonna embarrass my homie like
How
this,
that's
bro.
what's it called? That's a possibility. Clorox.
You say what was happening?
That's a possibility. There's no hints in the series.
So wait, I'm sorry. Is it the Salt Poppy nigga that thinks GT isn't after Super or like connected
Yeah.
to it?
The super goober or some shit.
Bro, that's not salt pot.
Okay. All right, Goofy Goober. Do you have any reason as to
My nigga.
why this can't be? And I'll like give you some reasons, maybe the simplest ones.
Okay, I'm back.
Before you say that, do you agree that GT is canon
like
to Z, like Dragon Ball Z?
This is like a 1v1 debate between
No. I just told him to end it so I can
1v2.
like engage.
You just told him what?
1v2, chill.
It's
I
not
just
a
told him
1v2.
to shit. I just told him to chill and end the discussion so I could like have both of you separately. So I'm saying, do you agree that GT is canon to Z at least? You don't think it's canon to Super, but you think it's canon to Z.
Manga canon? Or
I said canon.
Oh,
not really. I think Super is canon to Z. I think, well, I mean, the events of Z occur within GT, but
What the fuck? You don't think Dragon Ball GT is canon to Dragon Ball Z?
well, Akira Toriyama wrote Dragon Ball Z, and then he wrote the general plot outline.
So did Takao Koyama.
Yeah, sure, but I'm talking about, if we're talking about like manga canon, I think Akira Toriyama's canon would be Dragon Ball Z followed by Dragon Ball Super, and then GT is like a different timeline, but it's not really.
Dragon Ball Z doesn't exist as a manga. It's only Dragon Ball.
Well, it's fine, but I'm just saying the events that occur, like the.
I can argue that it's canon to the manga as well, but that's not what we're talking about now. I said, do you agree that Dragon Ball GT is canon to Z?
I mean, I'll put it the other way. I'd say Dragon Ball Z is canon to GT, but sure.
That means that they're canon to each other. That doesn't fucking matter.
But I'm saying though that Dragon Ball Z and Super exist within the same canon. GT is like a alternate timeline. Like it's not part of a Toriyama story.
I didn't ask you that. I said, do you think that Dragon Ball GT and Z are canon to each other? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, canon within Dragon Ball is determined by Toriyama because he created the source material and all that.
Again,
Yo, your Clorox, you're cutting out.
oh, my fault.
Okay, hear me?
Yep.
Yo, Clorox, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you, Joe, but just chill for a second.
Bro,
Can we try this? Can we try this again, Salt Poppy? Do you think that Dragon Ball GT is canon to Z? Yes or no? Just need a simple yes or no answer.
I would say there's like multiple Z canons, I guess. I mean, they're not really. No, I'd say no.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because Dragon Ball Z is only referring to one timeline of events.
Well, sure, but not really necessarily. Actually, no. It's
No, necessarily. Because as we both agreed, some of the movies can't fit into Dragon Ball Z itself, and those are Dragon Ball Z movies. Genius.
Right.
So let's do some second grade critical thinking here, no offense. If both of these are canon to one timeline, that means they share the same sequence of events. It's not rocket science.
If the movies can't fit into the canon of Dragon Ball Z, that means you could say
that means that Dragon Ball Z is referring to one timeline,
that would
right?
Be the same thing with GT. That would be the same thing with GT. It's basically relegated to like a similar thing with the movies. Like both aren't the events of Dragon Ball Z. You could say there's like an alternate movie.
Understand what you're arguing for. Chill. Just relax for a second. I'm glad you brought that up because what you're arguing for is actually proving my point. If Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT exists presumably in the same state as the Z movies, in which they're canon in some way, but they don't really mesh with Dragon Ball Z, then they wouldn't be canon to Z in the sense of chronological events, like as a one complete timeline. But you even bringing that up acknowledges that Dragon Ball Z exists as one timeline and one set of events. So if the set of events is canon or connective to wait, chill. Let me land the point before you say anything else, because I ain't even get to the point yet. If that's true, then that means that whatever you ascribe to be canon to one timeline necessarily has to be connected to each other because they are a part of the same one sequence of events.
If you were to ask me, is Dragon Ball Z canon to the movies? Just for instance, like the Broly movie, well, Goku has Super Saiyan. The events of Dragon Ball Z is where he got the transformation, like he's fighting Frieza, Krillin dies, he becomes a Super Saiyan. So that event of Dragon Ball Z would be canon to that movie, even though it's not in the main timeline, like it's not in the same universe, but the events of Dragon Ball Z with Goku fighting Frieza and all that occur within the Broly movie. Like,
that's wrong. They would just be canon to Dragon Ball. They wouldn't be canon to Dragon Ball Z. If you're talking about like the first 3 Broly movies, yeah, it wouldn't be canon to Z because it logically and narratively contradicts each other. Like they can't mesh together.
Well, that particular
it's not a reconcilable narrative, even with like retcons and shit.
Goku getting Super Saiyan, that occurs way before the Broly movie. But like basically,
say it again?
I said that particular event would not contradict it because it occurs way before the initial Broly movie. But
no, I'm saying the Broly movies in general are contradictory in narratives. I can bring you across a couple points like that are glaring if you want to.
Is Dragon Ball Z canon to the first Broly movie?
No.
So how does Goku achieve? Does Goku not fight Frieza to achieve Super Saiyan?
He might, but it's not in the same sequence of events.
That's
like Gohan in that movie doesn't have Super Saiyan 2. He should still be in that narrative in the Cell games around the time of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber.
No, it would be.
But he's fighting Broly on some sort of distant planet.
Yeah, I'm saying he gets Super Saiyan 2.
That's a narrative contradiction.
Cell, but it's not a narrative contradiction because in the week leading up to the Cell game,
quite literally a narrative.
There's a week leading up to the Cell games. Gohan does not have Super Saiyan 2. He only
yes, and it's shown in the Z anime.
In
all those 9 days, all of those. Wait, chill. All of those 9 days are actually shown in Dragon Ball Z and in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which claims to be canon to Ball Z in the manga. And in neither of those is it shown that they in one of those days they fight Broly. It's not shown. It narratively can't happen.
Manga.
Can somebody bring me the scan? I'll try to pull it up myself too.
Yeah, I might actually have to leave
general,
soon.
All right. Here, just just grant that real quick, and then like I'll fucking because I don't even need to bring up the Kakarot. It's just the anime itself, Dragon Ball Z, shows those 9 days, and they don't fight Broly in it.
Yeah, but that's not
So yes, at the same time that Gohan would be leaving the hyperbolic time chamber and resting in order to practice Grade 4 Super Saiyan, he wouldn't be fighting Broly. No.
Yeah, but that's in
Also, Piccolo was still in the hyperbolic time chamber afterwards, so he wouldn't be fighting. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
Vegeta, he would be. Holy shit! Say what?
Was he in there the entire week though?
Who, Piccolo?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think like around the last 2 to 3 days, he comes out, and then that's when but he comes like after Vegeta or something. Was it before or after Vegeta? But everybody was taking turns in the hyperbolic time chamber. So narratively, even at with the least amount of assumptions, they can't all be together fighting Broly at the same time.
I mean, it's a week, it's 7 days, and they're going in 2 at a time. Well, Piccolo goes in on his own, but
they showcase their entire.
I think there would still be enough time for them to like be on the new Vegeta and stuff.
There wouldn't be.
Is the scan there?
It is. There's literally narratively contrary. Say it again.
Is the scan there of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot the game being canon to the manga? I mean, you can say that
it doesn't even matter. It's just supporting evidence, but like we can stick with Dragon Ball Z itself. Dragon Ball Z again showcases where all these characters are during the 9 days before the Cell games, and not once are they shown to fight Broly. They're never even once shown together until those times where they go interact.
You're cutting out.
I didn't hear anything you said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said those characters aren't even they don't even number one have the time to be together for this plot of the Broly movie, but they also never are shown all on screen together unless it's them going in and out of the hyperbolic time chamber because they're all taking turns.
I mean,
even in the manga is shown like that.
That's fine. You can say
so yes, that's a narrative contradiction.
The events of the filler don't like mesh with the events of the movies, but because I know when you say Dragon Ball Z, you're only referring to the anime, but because it's not technically called that.
Because that's what Dragon Ball Z is.
Yeah, but that's a colloquialism. Whenever you mention Dragon Ball Z manga, people know the events you're referring to. It's from Raditz's introduction to the end of the Buu saga. So you can say that it doesn't mesh with the filler.
Because that's because of Dragon Ball Z. What the fuck are we talking about?
You can say it doesn't mesh with the events of the filler.
It says when you're talking about Z in the manga, yes, you're referencing the events from Raditz's arrival to the defeat of Buu. But the reason why you're referencing those events is because those events are called Dragon Ball Z in the anime called Dragon Ball Z. And I made that clear at the beginning, did I not? That I was referring to specifically Dragon Ball Z.
I said, when you said, oh, it's only called Dragon Ball Z in the anime, I said, that's fine, but we all know the events it's referring to, and they occur in the manga as well.
Yes, but you also know the events I'm referring to when I say Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, but I was under the impression we're talking about the manga, though. Well, not the manga necessarily, but...
No, you weren't, because I made it very clear that I was talking about Dragon Ball Z.
You didn't really, and
you said Super is canon to Dragon Ball Z, and then you even brought up the movie, showing that you know that I was talking about the anime and not the manga.
Introduction to the end of the Buu saga, from Raditz's introduction to the end of the Buu saga. I'm not referring to filler. I'm not referring to Dragon Ball Z.
I'm not. I guess what? I'm not referring to the manga. Now what?
Okay.
I'm just referring to Dragon Ball Z. I made it very clear now.
You don't have to. I'm not going to make you. But at the same time, when you asked me if Dragon Ball Super is canon to Z, I would say yeah, it's canon to the events of the manga.
That's not the question.
I'm not referring to the anime filler at all.
Then you're not answering the question. The question is it canon to Z? Dragon Ball Z
is what canon to Z?
Is Super canon to Dragon Ball Z the anime?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna say no.
Fucking duh. Oh shit. He wants to be a contrarian today, or not? Can somebody find me? I know you probably have it. The scans.
That's a big term for you.
Yeah, that's already. Do you want me to define it, Kel? Like, what do you mean?
That's a big term for you. Alright, shut the fuck up.
The fuck is this nigga Kel on?
I know what a contrarian is. my nigga.
Anyways, yo, Steezy,
What?
do you have that scan of fucking the fucking the callbacks to Super, like the flashbacks during the TV shows that show like the anime filler?
No.
Drip Nigerian ass left. He probably has it. Whatever the fuck. Are you willing to grant this so we don't waste any time? Because it'll be fucking.
Arguing that the event
search this.
of the Dragon Balls are canon to Super.
Say what?
Picture the events of Z. You're arguing as the Dragon Ball or Piccolo driving episode. That would all be canon to Z, right? Or
Well,
canon to
Game of
Super.
Gods is a Z movie, and so is Resurrection F.
Yeah. So you would be arguing that the events of Dragon Ball Z, like the filler with Goku and Piccolo driving, that would all be canon to Super?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, regarding Battle of Gods and Dragon Ball Super and Resurrection F and stuff, like Toriyama actually did write Resurrection F, so
No shit, he wrote all the movies. I'm saying that they're canon to his fucking to Z,
the filler.
the anime. Yeah, Toriyama acknowledges the anime as his work, as a joint work with Takao Koyama, and it co-aligns with the manga.
Can you give me a
Even
statement for that?
like in the even in like the Super manga, or was it the 2009 one shot? I think one of them, Gregory, an anime only character, is like shown in the manga format.
Yeah,
Also
can you give me the
for supporting
statement from
events.
Toriyama
I
about
think some shit
Toy
about Olibu is fucking Toy Kama.
Yeah,
let
the
me
statement where he said it's a joint
pull up
work
my,
between him and
mouthful.
Taiga.
Okay, if I show this to you, will you at least grant that what I'm saying is true about that specifically?
Depends on the particular. I mean, I can grant it for the sake of the conversation if it's going to make you make your point.
Well, it's just about you being intellectually honest and consistent.
I don't
This
know
is
that
gonna
the
follow,
events
like, just like
where Dragon Ball Z occurred within Dragon Balls. Like if I'm watching Ball Super, they flashbacks to Ball Z and Boo, which also occurred in the manga, but would they have flashbacks to filler or anime only or whatever?
in the anime, they do. I remember. Look here, let me see. I'm just gonna
In the skin of Kama or whatever.
certain. Yeah, I'm looking around for it. This is like one of the more well-known ones. It's and I think it's that interview with Toriyama and Toyotaro where they talk about Dragon Ball Z, the anime, and some of the anime original scenes, and then him just acknowledging it as his work as well. Which, again, no fucking shit. He's the creator of the series. But if you need like proof of that, let me see if I can find the scans. Damn, this shit thick. I forgot. I gotta flip through these bitches. Bro, like for Dragon Ball, I have the most scans, which is really bugging me out because it's always hard to look for them. Oh yeah, also Steezy.
Yeah.
Do you have that screenshot of the Resurrection F manga Like, can it actually being called Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F in the manga?
I think I do somewhere.
That would probably be a lot faster, just to show that the super manga
Yo,
is.
1 second.
It's the same one
1
where
second.
Goku like uses that god
Alright.
form in base.
Yeah, 1 second.
You know what I'm talking about?
Probably, I think I remember sending you some manga skins for that. I could probably try to find it, but
I got a collection. Oh, is this it? No, not the Resurrection F one, but this might be the interview.
Nigga is not getting that debate.
Yeah, that he's never gonna do that.
Am I sending it in general? Screw it.
How does Starkey can we like stop with this internet thing being internet?
Okay.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this, bro? Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I actually might
Do I
have to
even
piece
have-
that soon.
Do I have image perms in here?
I might have to piece that
Hold
soon,
on.
depending on how things go.
I'm putting the scan in here right now. There you go.
It's in general?
Image perms, what the fuck? Bro, I don't have image perms. Yo, what's wrong with you?
yo, why does my goat not have image perms, bro? Trick,
Oh, I
bro.
got
What's
you,
going
bro.
on, bro?
Bro, chill. I got that, bro.
His daddy
Bro,
pig crawlers, man.
fix that right now, bro. Immediately.
Got you, bro.
Exactly, before I get angry, bro.
I'm sorry, guys.
Or I become the alpha. Alright, hold on. There y'all go. I just posted it. For you too, Soul Poppy, you can read this. Toriyama, throughout the entire interview, like, acknowledges that this is his own work.
What, it's in general?
Yep. And they talk about the original anime scenes, like in the first part on the left, the far left, you can see that it says, they ask if he watches Dragon Ball Z every week, and he says, yes, it's my own work, so at least I try to watch it. And then they say, they talk about fucking, the series, organizer, which is Takao Koyama, he's the screenwriter. And he says, series organization means going on structuring the series by determining how many episodes of the anime will cover a particular chapter of the original work. Even so, we'll inevitably catch up to the manga, so whenever that happens, we'll also add in original episodes while making arrangements and such with Toriyama. So yes, Toriyama was directly behind the anime as well with Takao Koyama, with the anime original scenes. And they conjunct it with the manga,
Holy shit,
so
I
the
need
manga
this
would be
info
canon to Z, the anime. Can we at least agree on that?
I had turned off your volume so I could read this because I couldn't read it while you were talking. I'm still. Hold up, let me read this up.
I just highlighted the original points.
Alright.
So you just kind of just went nowhere with that.
Alright, I'm reading it. Alright.
Yeah, I needed this shit for a while too.
What does this mean? It says, even so, we'll notably catch up with the manga, so whenever that happens, we'll add in original episodes while making arrangements with Toriyama. So, what is it? Depends on what they mean by arrangements, right? Are they saying that he's going to contribute to the filler, like he's helping?
So you missed the entire point I was making after I read that because you turned me down. Here, let's go over it again. Throughout the entire scan, there's multiple excerpts of Toriyama claiming this as his work, Koyama saying that Toriyama is the ultimate authority on this work, specifically referring to the anime and its anime original content and how it's created. And also Toriyama saying that he doesn't want to tweak things that are going to contradict the comic because, again, Z the anime is his work. They are comparing and contrasting this with. Wait, chill. They are comparing and contrasting this with the manga constantly. A third grader could understand that this means that they share one and the same canon.
Koyama can't add anything that's going to that Toriyama wouldn't be okay with. But does that mean but if you're asking me if the events of the filler are canon to Super, like if the events of the filler occurred in Super, Toriyama saying his own work. So
do you know why I made that note?
What note?
It wasn't because of what you said. That wasn't the claim I made. Koyama is talking about his job position and screenwriting the anime, and he can't do anything with, like, especially the original episodes is highlighted, without Toriyama himself, because Toriyama is the ultimate authority on specifically the Z anime. Toriyama extrapolates on why this is the case, because he's the creator of the original manga, and he doesn't want his work to be contradictory with it. And the anime original episodes are conclusive of that. It's not like the Broly movie where it's completely outside of the timeline and it can't happen within that timeline, or like the fucking whatever the fucking movie is with Harudegarn and shit. It's like,
are you referring?
Oh boy,
referring to the all right, but referring to the in the skin, the red box, or the because the only part that says Koyama that I see is the green box where he says you can watch episodes you just read the original manga almost immediately in the anime, but the staff have to make it in a limited number of production days.
No. I'm talking about to the left of that, the box in the bottom middle. They talk about the series organizer and the screenwriter, which is Takao Koyama, and they talk about his quote that's highlighted in the bottom. And it says series organization means the goal of structuring the series by determining how many episodes of the
anime. It has me muted. All right, bro, peace. I actually have to leave.
What? I don't have him muted. He just doesn't know how to hold a combo. What the fuck?
Wait, so nigga lacks patience?
What the hell?